It's funny how a single moment can change everything. One message, one night, one choice. I should have known something was wrong that day, but how do you see the monster inside your friend? I used to think Max was just like the rest of us, normal, until that night. I'd known Max since middle school. We weren't best friends or anything, but we ran in the same group. Jimmy and I, though, we were close. We always hung out after school, talking about random stuff. Girls, nothing serious. But Max? Lately, something about him seemed off. It started small, little things. Max got weirdly quiet whenever Jimmy was around. I thought maybe he was just dealing with stuff, like teenage drama. I didn't think much of it at first. I was playing GTA 5 on my PS4. That's when my phone buzzed. When I got that message, I didn't think twice. Max and Jimmy had been my friends for years. We had our moments, but this was just another random night out, hanging out, joking around, and maybe playing video games, so I thought. Max had always been a little different, more intense, but that's just Max, right? I met Jimmy and we started towards Max. Do you think Max is serious about some big surprise? Man, he's always full of it. Jimmy always joked. That's how he was. He'd laugh through anything, brush off any tension. But even he couldn't hide how weird things had gotten between Max and us lately. Looking back, I think Jimmy sensed something that I didn't, or didn't want to. You guys finally made it. Ready for something you'll never forget? I walked in and it was like a weight hit me. The air was heavy. Max didn't say much, and Jimmy, who was usually the life of the party, just sat there scrolling through his phone. It didn't feel like a hangout. It felt like something was about to go wrong. Jimmy was just trying to keep things normal, but Max, he barely said a word. I thought maybe something was going on between him and Jimmy, something about that girl, Alexa, but I didn't know the full story, not then. Let's play a game. The game is I kill you. While saying this, he pointed the gun towards Jimmy. When I saw it, I froze. It was like time stopped. I remember thinking, this has to be a joke, right? It can't be real. But then, I saw Max's face. He wasn't messing around. Max's voice was off, distant, like he was somewhere else. And we didn't see it. I didn't see it. God, I didn't see it. You think it's funny, don't you? Always acting like you're better. I didn't catch it at first, the way Max's eyes changed when he said that, but it was like something snapped inside of him. Max, what the hell, man? This isn't funny. What the hell are you talking about, man? Do you think you can take her from me? It was like a nightmare, only real. Max shot him, just like that. There was no shouting, no argument, nothing. He just pulled the trigger. I was frozen. I wanted to believe it was a prank, that Jimmy would pop out of the water laughing, but he didn't. He couldn't. The room went silent. Jimmy, who was just laughing with us days ago, was now lying there, motionless. My brain couldn't process what had just happened. And then, Max did something even worse. He didn't flee, didn't panic. Instead, in a chilling and surreal act, he took out his phone, opened Snapchat, and snapped a picture of Jimmy's lifeless body. That's when I realized the Max I knew was gone. He was a stranger, a monster. I didn't think I'd ever see him again, but I did. At the trial, he didn't flinch. Didn't even react when they played the video, the one he posted online for everyone to see, as if Jimmy's life was just entertainment. Jimmy's gone, Max is gone, and here I am, left with nothing but memories and nightmares. Every time I hear a Snapchat notification, I feel sick. I can't erase what I saw. I can't unsee what Max became. You think you know your friends. You think you can trust them. But sometimes, the real monsters are standing right beside you, waiting for the right moment to strike. story was inspired by a horrific incident that happened in February 2015. 16-year-old Maxwell Morton shot and killed his friend Jimmy Patrick in a small Pennsylvania town. The two teens were reportedly friends, but tensions rose due to jealousy, especially over a girl. On the night of the crime, Maxwell invited Jimmy over under pretenses. Once Jimmy arrived, Maxwell shot him in the head. Disturbingly, after committing the murder, Morton took a selfie with Jimmy's lifeless body and sent it to friends via Snapchat. A shocked recipient saved the photo and reported it to the authorities, leading to Maxwell's arrest. He was later convicted of third-degree murder and was charged accordingly. It was 6 p.m. and I was with my friend Abby. We were both waiting. It felt strange, two young girls alone in Riley Park. The sun was setting and he still hadn't arrived. Mr. Jake was a very pleasant, kind, and caring man. He was a man of faith, or so he always said, and he regularly sent me money to buy things. He spoiled me a lot, and that's something not many men do. He hated young men, always thought they were self-centered and never kind. Mr. Jake was something every lady should have, and I was really thrilled. He had never asked me to go out since we started talking on Snapchat. Sure, he lived a bit far away, but he sent me money to go to a national park. I thought it would be a great opportunity. I dressed as pretty as I could, a cute dress, but not too flashy so my parents wouldn't notice. It was a secret. I left early and told them I was going to my friends. That's how I got to this moment.
Is he really going to come? He said so.
Soon, we heard the sound of a car driving up. It was an old car. I had no idea what model it was. Mr. Jake came out of the car, dressed in blue jeans, a blue jacket, and a cap. Mr. Jake was 45, and from the start, something about him made me feel uneasy. But both Abby and I decided to ignore that feeling. We're just being paranoid, I kept telling myself. He smiled at us sheepishly and said, "Let's go down the hill." We walked behind him through the trees, deeper and deeper into the forest. The further we went, the more distant the familiar paths seemed, and the mist began to envelop everything around us. The air was so still that even our breath seemed to bounce off the trees. The sun was setting and he didn't say a word. Where was that kindness, that warmth? I wondered if it was all in the chat. Worst of all, he hadn't explained why he'd invited me. Jake started to speak in a low voice, but his tone was different, almost threatening. He started saying strange things about how he knew the area and how other people used the park for rituals. People in this park perform rituals where they kill people and eat them. My heart began to race.
What kind of joke is this?
I asked nervously, but he just looked at me with that smile that now seemed much more sinister. At that moment, everything changed. He stopped dead in his tracks. He looked at us out of the corner of his eye, and that look, that emptiness, lifeless look, said, "They asked me to kill you guys for them." I had an overwhelming urge to run, but I was more afraid of what would happen if we did. My phone didn't even have a signal. Abby and I looked at each other in horror, realizing that we were too far from the park and there was no one around to help us. We tried to go back, but it was too late. He lunged at Abby, grabbing her arms and dragging her down to the floor. He was choking Abby with his bare hands. They were struggling on the floor. Abby's pupils rolled up. She was gasping for air. He took a knife out of his jacket pocket and stabbed on her throat rigorously. He had a rage on his face. This happened so quick that I didn't even have time to react. I was shocked and scared. He looked at me with evil in his eyes. That's when I came to my senses. I ran as fast as I could, only hearing the sound of his footsteps chasing me. I was writhing and screaming as he chased me. I felt as if it would catch me at any moment. The terror made me trip over roots, scraping my skin as the bushes tried to stop me. I was almost out, so close to getting away, but he caught me. He was very excited and said, "They'll be happy to have you." They? Who was he talking about? I wondered as I continued to shout, hoping someone would hear me. Suddenly, some people approached. I was relieved, but only for a few seconds, because one of them was carrying Abby on his shoulders. I only heard, "Don't kill the other one. What good is the sacrifice?" This situation got to me and I passed out. I didn't understand anything. When I woke up, I was tied in the middle of the forest. I was lying on a table, my hands tied, and they were all around me. There were so many men, and one of them was licking my legs. It was a cult that had massacred Abby's body. They were standing around me. I tried to get free, but I couldn't, and they stabbed me in the leg. I tried to scream, but I couldn't because my mouth was tied. They kept stabbing me in my legs and arms, and one of them took out a saw. The pain was unbearable. I felt myself losing consciousness, but then suddenly I experienced a moment of relief. The pain was gone. It was soothing. I thought I was dead, but I wasn't. They had cut off my legs and sewn me up. That would be my life from then on. The story was inspired by the real case involving a 24-year-old man who was arrested in Delphi, Indiana, after he took two 15-year-old girls into the woods after meeting them on Snapchat. The incident happened near the Monon High Bridge Trail, the site where Libby German and Abby Williams were murdered in 2017. Police received a call reporting the man who claimed he thought the girls were 19. When officers arrived, they found him smoking cannabis with the girls in a wooded area. As for the murder of Libby and Abby, they were found dead after a hike in February 2017. Libby had posted a photo on Snapchat, capturing images of a mysterious man nicknamed Bridge Guy, who became key to the investigation. Although a man called Richard Allen was arrested in 2022 and charged with the murders, his trial had been delayed until October 2024. His lawyers have put forward a theory of ritual sacrifice by a nationalist sect called the Odinists, further complicating the case. I never thought I'd be scared of my own phone, but now every time I get a Snapchat notification, my heart races. It all started a few months ago when my best friend showed me some messages he'd been getting. We were hanging out in his room after school when he suddenly got real quiet and held out his phone. The screen showed a Snapchat from someone called Talon the Goon. It was a video of a kid getting punched in the face, then kicked while he was down. The caption read, "Who's next?" I felt sick watching it. When I asked Preston who these guys were, he just shrugged, but I could see he was worried. He told me they apparently called themselves the Gilbert Goons, and they were from our school and others around here. Apparently, they just hurt people for fun. Over the next few weeks, he kept getting more snaps like this. Sometimes it was videos of fights, other times pictures of brass knuckles or guns with scary captions. We couldn't do anything. If we turned into snitches, they'd beat us up or something. So we just carried on like nothing happened. A week before Halloween, we got a snap about a party nearby, and there was going to be free drinks. So my pal and I obviously went. I picked him up in my old Corolla. He was dressed as a basketball player, and I had on this cheap vampire costume. The party was insane when we got there. Hundreds of kids, most in costume. Music blasting, the smell of weed and booze everywhere. We hung out near the snack table for a while, talking to some kids from school. But then I saw my friend tense up. I followed his gaze and saw a group of older guys walk in. They weren't in costume, just jeans and hoodies. But the way other kids cleared a path for them, I wasn't realizing what was happening. We tried to leave, but before we could, one of them stepped in front of us. I recognized him from some of the snaps. Treston Billy, one of the ringleaders. He grabbed my friend's arm when we tried to go around him. I tried to stand up for him, but Treston just looked at me with these cold, hard eyes. He said my friend needed to have a little chat with him. Next thing I knew, two more goons were behind us, and they started pushing us towards the backyard. Once we were outside, away from everyone else, it all happened so fast. Tristan shoved my friend to the ground, yelling at him about ignoring them. My bro tried to calm things down, but Tristan wasn't having it. He punched him hard and he went down. I tried to help, but someone held me back. I had to just stand there and watch as the goons beat him up. I mean, the sound of their fists and feet hitting him, it was brutal. My boy's body jerking with every blow. Like, that's gonna stick with me forever. I can't even tell you how long it went on. It felt like hours, but finally, I heard one of them say, "He's out." They left him there, just lying on the ground, not moving at all. There was blood on his face, smeared all over his costume. Then Tristan, the smug jerk, looked right at me and grinned, saying, "Your turn next, vampire boy," before they just casually walked away, like it was no big deal, like it didn't even matter. As soon as they were gone, I ran over to my pal, trying to shake him awake, but he didn't move. Nothing. My hands were shaking so bad when I called 911, and I remember just sitting there, holding his head in my lap, crying, begging him to wake up. But he didn't. The next couple of days, they're a blur. I was in and out of hospitals and police stations, trying to explain what happened, but none of it mattered because my boy never woke up. He passed away on October 30th, just 2 days after the attack. I thought that was it, that it was all finally over, but I was so wrong. The day after he died, I got this Snapchat from some random account. It was a picture of him in his hospital bed, and it was clear that whoever took it didn't have permission. The caption? "You're next, vampire boy." The events described are based on a real tragedy in Queen Creek, Arizona, a suburb southeast of Phoenix. On October 28, 2023, 16-year-old Preston Lord was attacked at a Halloween party. Preston, a sophomore and basketball player, attended the party with his teammates, advertised on Snapchat as a Halloween costume rager with free alcohol. It drew over 200 teens from local high schools. During the party, Preston and his friends were confronted by a group of older boys. After one friend recorded a fight, tensions escalated. Preston was knocked unconscious by Talon Renner, and others continued beating him until they fled. Witnesses saw someone dance on Preston before he was dragged from the road. Police found Preston with life-threatening injuries. He passed away 2 days later. The group responsible, known as the Gilbert Goons, had been involved in violent acts since 2022, sharing videos on social media like Snapchat. 7 individuals: Tristan Billy, 18, Jacob Mesner, 17, Taylor Sherman, 19, Talon Renner, 17, Dominic Turner, 20, William Owen Hines, 18, and Talon Vigil, had been charged with first-degree murder and kidnapping. They have all pleaded not guilty, with the trial set for July 2025 due to the large volume of evidence.